All right, let's get this party started. Omar, you always seem to be the first one. I love this. Let's go ahead and share my screen. One second here. Here we go. All right. There we go. And let me turn on the camera. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What is today? Today's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Let me say hello to everybody here. We got Omar. Omar, I noticed yesterday you were the first one too. You gotta teach everybody the trick. The early bird catches the worm, right? All right, let's talk about who we got here and say hello to everybody. We got Omar, Armulfo, Richard, Jill, Gustavo. Good morning, Gustavo, Jill, Richard, Armulfo, Omar, Tom, Robert, Timothy, Ivano, Pat, JB, Robert, Vernon, John, Ricky, Cam. Good morning, Cam. I don't think I saw you yesterday. I don't remember. Jean, Dr. Serena, my actuary's in the house. Darren, how are you, Darren? Let me just, we got a lot of people here today. Michael, Jeff, the sassy trainer. DFW Airport. Oh my. You know, it's funny, Sassy Trainer. One of the girls that works for us, she was at an airport, somewhere up north, somewhere, I don't want to lie to you, but I think it was Michigan. And she Skyped me, Deanna, who hosts our webinars and does a lot of stuff in the background. And she's like, somebody's listening to your class at the airport. I'm hearing your voice at the airport. I thought that was kind of funny. But thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that very much, Sassy Trainer. Angie, good morning. Jody, good morning. Patrick, good morning. Steven, Dave, Eduardo. How are you, Eduardo? Glenn, Randy, CJ, Virtue VN, Brian. Let's see. I'm losing track here. Geez, we got a lot of people here today. We got already 150. I just want to make sure I don't lose anybody. Rosalind, good morning. Benjamin, Charlie, Charlie Clyde. I like that. Dave, Philip, Dave, Glenn, Sarah, Omar, Manuel, Charlie. The other Charlie's here. Jim, Charlie, let me know. Give me an email. I asked you a question if things are starting to, kind of come together. I haven't heard an update from you. You just told me you made a couple of dollars, but I want to know if mentally things are starting to take a shift. Let me know when you get a chance. No rush, no pressure. Jim, Liberty, Blair, Vivice, Carlos, good morning. Deanna, Frankie, Dennis, Ray. Wow, we got all the usual suspects here. I love it. Tanya, Korea, Edgar, Omar, Michael, Robert, Rochelle. Good morning, Rochelle. Jesse, Kevin from Carlsbad. I love Carlsbad. Kim, Ben, Henry, John, Duzzy, Ali, good morning, Ali, Eduardo, Wilford, Raj, Justin, Ricky, Richard, Charlie. All right, everybody's in the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome. I'm sure you guys could hear me okay, could see me okay. Before we begin, real quick, VIP room link, here it is. There is no major events today. Roddy, good morning. Delroy, Ricky, Chris, Pam, Colleen, good morning. Here is my link to my Telegram channel. If you guys are not in my Telegram channel, and yes, it's the free Telegram channel, here is the link. Please hit the like button. Hit the like and subscribe button. All right? Please. I would appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. There it is. I just hit it myself. Yesterday, I think we had over 300 buttons clicked, so it was very cool. All right, let's talk about, Richard. Good morning, Richard. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Richard, and everybody else here. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Let's begin. So, remember, we start at where our end result is, right? We start at where our end result is. Remember yesterday, I said I believe the market's going to go higher, make another high, but I believed it was going to probe into this area. It was actually stronger than I expected, but pretty much what we intraday, what we said would happen would happen. The market opened up, made a higher high, made a low, probed the low, and closed in the middle. Was it, as a matter of fact, let me show you the markets yesterday. This is the trading action yesterday here. So right here, we opened up at the high. We opened up right here. We went a little higher. We probed, made a new low, and putzed around and finished in the middle. Now, I want to ask you guys, how different is that from what I said to you will happen yesterday? Opened up high, almost at the high, uh, made a bull trap, swung in a whole. This is the intraday. So we opened right here. We opened right here. This is 8:30 because this is Central Time Zone. We opened right here, made a higher high, probed down for the low, and then putzed around the remainder of the day. Spot on, right? And again, I encourage everybody to watch yesterday's video. So today, the entire goal of this exercise is going to do exactly what we did yesterday. Because you see, unlike most trading gurus who can fantasize and tell you they can predict into the future, my ball only goes about 6 hours into the future. Exactly what I said. Yeah. Right here. Made a higher high. Bull trap. Got me. I got taken in this bull trap in the pit yesterday. Went down, probed the low, and putzed around. So today, our entire job, this entire hour, we're going to try to figure out what the market will do today and why. Okay? So our entire goal is figuring out what these two bars are going to do today. Right now, we're right here. Let me see if I could take off. I want to take away the trend lines here. Let me hold on a second. Hold on, let me just take away these trend lines real quick. Oh, doesn't that make it easier? So today, this is where we're at right now. Today, our job is going to be to determine. I'm on YouTube with one thumb, one folks. One on YouTube. No, Robert, that's just because you're not updating your thing. There's a lot more thumbs up than that. Right now, we have actually 94 thumb ups. But I would appreciate more. Thank you. So again, keep in mind, as I go through this, our entire goal over the next 55 minutes is going to try to figure out what this market is going to do today. Because the truth is, what else really matters? What do you care about tomorrow? Tomorrow, we worry about tomorrow. And I'm hoping that when you see how difficult it is and how many things we have to figure out what the market's going to do today, I hope that this exercise will stop you from trying to figure out what the market will do in a month or a year. Because I figure by the time you figure out that it takes Roger an hour to figure out what the market will do in 6 hours, you will realize that it would take me probably an infinite amount of time to figure out what the market will do next week. And the truth is, I don't have that ability. And if I don't have that ability, and I've been doing this for over 31 years, or almost 31 years, think about other people telling you the same. Okay? Just think about it. So let's go through everything. First things first, we have Fed data coming out. We have 3 big reports coming out, and volume is very, very low. You just press F5 or just go to your, where you type in the URL and press return. Just click on it and press return, and you'll be able to update it, okay? Hey, Moondog, at least you're not in the hospital again, thank God. Yeah, we have almost 100 likes right now. All right. So we're probably not gonna peek out or find out where we really are till 10 a.m. today, right? Because we have these reports, which means when the market opens today, we can't really take it as a high or a low because we don't have all the data we need. Yesterday, when the market opened, we had all the data that we needed to make a decision because there was no other Fed data coming out. So it was much easier than it will be today. Today, I'll be able to do part of it, but we have a little surprise here. We have consumer confidence, we have new home sales, and we have manufacturing data. And manufacturing data is actually pretty important right now. So Please do not do anything today unless you want to liquidate positions before 10 a.m. Yesterday, we liquidated 3 or 4 positions for most of our programs uh, before 10 a.m. Also, you're going to have a muted market even after this because you have FOMC at 2 p.m., 2 o'clock, which means that unlike yesterday where the market made an all-time high or almost all-time high at the open, today you're going to have a little more mystery meat to the market, okay? So that means you may have lower volatility and lower movement because you have FOMC and we are getting closer to the holidays. And the closer we're going to get to the holidays, the more you will see, the more you will see this type of price action, just listless price action. Okay. Now, this is last night after Trump made his announcement, which I'll talk about today. And this is this morning. So we had a nice gap up this morning. Hopefully it'll sustain itself. All right. So no soup for you till 10 a.m., at least 10 a.m. Okay. And we may be in a range till 10 a.m. Watch for a potential breakout or a breakdown after 10 a.m., especially, excuse me, I got hair in my eyes, especially if you are trading the Pro Trader dashboard. Okay. Capiche? Make sure you guys understand that. Very, 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 very important. If you don't get that, that's a big problem. It's a big, 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 big problem. All right. All right. Let's continue. Gold. Well, gold took a dump yesterday, and it's especially overnight. Gold is not helping the market at all. Do not go long gold till we're back above here. The question now is, are we going to stay above the 50-day moving? Are we going to stay at the 100-day moving average? The odds are, over the next several days, especially into the holidays, gold is going to stay between the 100 and the 50-day. We're below the election day VWAP right now, but we're above year-end value and we're below quarter. So we're in a very interesting spot with gold right now. We're kind of nowhere. We're in twilight zone because you've got the quarter-to-date VWAP above us, you got the election VWAP above us, but you got the year-to-date VWAP below us, and gold has been going straight up. This, to me, looks like a high unless we can regain this stability. In order for me to want to go long gold again, now I'm going to give you a level right now. Much like I gave you a level on chip stocks, do not, under any circumstances, I love your name, PI007, love that. Flying Ronan, good morning. Wayne, good morning. Dave, good morning. Do not, I'm going to say it again. Do not go long gold till gold is above 2760 right here, right? 2759-ish, right here. 20. How about let's just say 2760 just to make it nice and easy on everybody, okay? 2760. There it is, 2760. This thing just doesn't want to cooperate. All right. And I'm just going to leave this here for now, okay? Just going to leave it there, okay? Please do not go long gold. Please. We can consolidate. And also, it looks right now, this looks like we're starting to develop a downtrend, which I predicted would start happening after the election because China's not buying gold and China's in the crapper right now. So we need a major catalyst for gold to go up. Also, short-term rates, not long-term rates, but short-term rates are moving, starting to move higher. Lower. And short-term rates moving lower is bearish for gold. It's not bullish for gold. It's deflationary. So again, I'm expecting gold for the near term to stay between the 50-day moving average and the 100 and the 50-day moving average, clipped right here in between. Please, can we get the GLD range? Yeah, right here just put the 50-day and the 100-day on your chart. And 2682, 2590. I think we're going to stay in this range for the foreseeable future. Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily know if we're going to be going down or not. Yes, John, exactly. Thank you for that. That's exactly right, John. That's exactly what I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to confuse people, but yes, that's exactly right. Hey, Eagle Beagle, how are you? Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. We get more viewers this way. Right now, we have 143 likes and 372 people in the room. So crude oil, just not really seeing anything. As I mentioned to you guys now for several weeks, you see this right here? This is kind of what I'm expecting to continue. A bunch of nothing. Now, does that hurt or help you? It doesn't really do either, which means if I saw right now a couple of energy stocks that were at the, coming down and really, really weak, I would not hesitate to take a short. If I saw energy stock breaking out hard, I would not take a long. This is neutrality. This isn't really bearish or bullish. And what this does is it allows the stock market to show its hand. So right now, this is very similar to, again, I'm switching topics. This chart pattern, this kind of not here, not there, a little randomness, doesn't really know what it wants to do. This reminds me of semiconductors. And basically, remember what I said, the only stocks that I like and I would trade in semiconductors are the stocks that are already above this pivot right here. Here, let me just kind of go here real quick. I'm not really talking about semiconductors. I'm trying to prove a point about, I'm using semiconductors to talk about energy. Kind of see that? Not here, not there. So remember what I said to you with semiconductors. I said that you should only trade semiconductors long. It's okay, Eagle. You should only trade semiconductors long if the semiconductor company is well above this level. And I gave you, I think, three. I gave you Nvidia. I think there was a couple. There was definitely more than one. There was a few. But same thing with crude oil. If you see a crude oil stock up here, not down here, up here, that's okay. That's okay. If you see a crude oil stock down here, that's okay, because this isn't really helping or hurting us. This is just very random. So that's kind of like a relative strength play. So this would apply also, yes, this would also apply to the gold market, okay? Although gold stocks are a little more related to the actual commodity, so I don't think you will see that. But with crude oil, it's a different story, because what I just said was energy stocks, not crude oil stocks, energy stocks. There's a lot of conglomerates out there that deal with different part of the energy market. So if one is breaking out, I'm not going to stop. So pretty much what I'm saying is stay away from crude oil unless it's breaking down or up. Stay away from gold unless there's a gold stock that's making an all-time high or breaking down. But generally speaking, you will find that the majority of the assets within the ETF will react very similarly to this, very similarly to how crude oil is. Basically, they will all, 70% of their movement minimum will echo this. Kerr, good morning. Cam says today we will be spending some time on A-line trading and customer service live. Customer service live. That's what I wanted to hear. And here's the link for that. A-line. Oh, I love that. I love that. You know how much I love the A-line, Cam. I love the A-lines. Love the A-lines. And you know what, Cam? Show them also how they can use fractal trading with using the A-line on a daily and then switching over to a 5-minute and switching to the VWAP on the way up, if you can. Because I'm trying to teach them that trick right now. So it's called fractal analysis, okay? You're using the 5-minute and you're using, fractal just means multiple time frames. It's just a fancy word for saying multiple time frames, okay? All right, let's move on. US dollar. Well, US dollar hit the 8-day EMA and it's now starting to come up. One of the reasons why the US dollar is starting to come up is because our president made a few statements late last night, which I will be talking about right now. Now, 2 weeks ago, you guys almost booed my ass out of here when I was telling you about this. But now it's really hard to avoid it because it was the cover of the bar chart article this morning. Let me show you. Here. It's the headline. Okay, so it's not easy to avoid it right now. Okay. Okay, so we hit the 8-day. We're backing up. If we start going up aggressively on the dollar, it's going to put pressure like it is right now. See how it gapped up? It was very happy because the US dollar started cooling off. Well, US dollar's coming back up, and that's going to put pressure on the bond market. If that puts pressure on the bond market, that's going to put pressure on the that's going to put a lot of pressure on the stock market. So keep an eye right now on the US dollar gold, and the bond market. Not so much crude oil. Crude oil kind of does its own thing, more or less, but there's a very strong relationship between gold, bonds, and US dollar. And it wouldn't be the worst idea for you guys to keep it up on your chart, especially right now because the US dollar is in play. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Good morning, Michael from California. Wow. Whew. Yeah, and again, just so you know, here's my Telegram channel. If you guys are not in my Telegram channel, and I think most of you are, here's the link. Here's the link for my VIP room. I'll be hot and heavy today in the VIP room. We have a lot to talk about because we're going to have those 10 o'clock reports. And once again, Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. Here's the link for that. Hey, Tony, good morning. Good to see you. So bonds are starting to break down. Now, I'm going to give you a level for the bond market, okay? The low yesterday in the TLT, I'm going to use TLT because this is what you guys trade. You asked me to use this instead of the 10-year bond, so because this is what we actually trade. And this is the most liquid ETF. It's very, very liquid. You can actually place, there's a few assets you can almost place market orders instead of limit orders. TLT, SPY, QQQ. You're not, the spread is like half a cent, 1 cent. So this is very liquid. The options are very liquid and they're not expensive. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you see the US dollar starting to come up above this area right here, above the 107.57, check the bond market. There's a good chance that the bond market is going to be trading below this. The level you want to pay attention to, and I'm going to give you a level right now, is 91.98. I'm just going to put a little line right there, okay? My suggestion for you guys is to put an alert. I know Carlos is putting an alert. I know that Richard is putting an alert. Richard, are you here? I didn't see you this morning. I think you're traveling, possibly. I'm not sure. But anyways, right here, 91, 90, the low, when we get into the 91s, if we start filling in this gap, there's a really good chance we're going to come right back down here. Although, be careful with the bond market because you got GDP tomorrow. But even if you don't trade it, but you're just looking at bonds, if this starts going down, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the NASDAQ, okay, and the Dow, obviously. So be careful. One of the reasons that NASDAQ is up today is because the bond market is a little bit elevated, even though it's a little down this morning, okay? So just giving you some heads up, you want to keep your eye on the bond market. What about China? Well, we're going to read about how they're up today and how they're doing great and how everything is hunky-dory. But, look at where they're at. This is the top 50 Chinese stocks, okay? Top 50 Chinese stocks. Not really all that great, right? Does this look like a bullish face to you? No. And after I talk about the fundamentals, you'll realize that there's a really good chance that this may actually be weaker. So, in terms of global economy, in terms of the market this morning, we're not going to make a higher low today, I don't think, till after 10 a.m. Why? Because we have two big reports and we have another one. And I think the market is going to save some firepower for the 2 p.m. session, especially with low liquidity right now, which means keep your powder dry. Don't expect the market to make its major move till the second part of the day. I think the market is going to be doing something towards this. So don't be surprised if today you saw very low, you see an inside day, inside meaning below the high and above the low, just kind of an inside day, very low range inside day, and then market really starting to move one way or the other, and I don't know which way, after the FOMC minutes. If the consumer confidence and home sales are really sharp, possibly, and also I'm not really expecting a lot from the minutes. So again, and also we have less liquidity. So don't be surprised if today was an inside day, just an inside day, middle of this and this, especially after this volatility. But let's continue. Let's see if we can add some more. Hey Pat, how are you? Let's see if we can add some more flavor to all of this. Okay. But am I bearish? Am I becoming bearish on the market? Not at all. Not at all. We're above the 8-day EMA. which will act as support at 594, 595. By that time, it'll be at 595. So look for support at 595. And then you have the election VWAP, which look how well it held right here. Held right here and then held below. So the fact we're above right now, this area will act as support, 593, 594. Hey, thanks, Dr. Serena. And we already got 440 people here. Nice. It's going to be a little slow this week for the number of people because a lot of people are traveling right now. You guys know this is the busiest travel holiday of all time. Okay. And I'll go through all the major ETFs in just a few minutes. So gold, maybe some upside today, possibly because the U.S. dollar is starting to get a little more vulnerable. A potential breakdown, as you're seeing right now in the bond market, if the news is not up to par at 10 a.m. Right now, we're almost at the lows. And it doesn't look like we were able to go much higher than this, especially after the first day. We're already start to filling the gap. If after the first gap day we start filling in the gap, that means this gap was a waste of time. And by the way, look at where this gap stopped. Quarter to date VWAP. Look. Do you see why I have you put these lines on here? Quarter to date VWAP, election VWAP, year to date VWAP. Yay! Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Serena. Okay, so mild market, a lot of uncertainty developing, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of mystery because we have personal income tomorrow. We're not going to have a huge day today. We have big news at 2. We have news at 10. Volume is a little low. So far, I'm smelling an inside day. Where can I find the Cam and Gustavo show if it's recorded? You can start by going to their members area, which is right here. Jose, right there. There you go. That's a good start right there. Hey, Gustavo, if I didn't say good morning to you today, good morning to you too. I always say Cam, but good morning to you and your Dobie. I love that Dobie. Okay, now let's put everything together so now I talked about the peripherals. I talked about. So tonight we have a date with a girl, okay? So far we found out that it's not going to be a big storm tonight. We found out we have gas in the car. We find out that my older sister is going to let me borrow her car. My clothes have been cleaned from the dry cleaner. She's a real female. She's actually going to be there. I figured out how long it's going to take me there. But now let's find out more information about the girl, okay? Now, folks, if me talking about tariffs, if you consider that a political discussion, then you are insane and you should tune out right now because I'm about to talk about tariffs. Because I tried to explain what I'm going to talk about today 2 weeks ago, and a lot of you gave me the cold shoulder. Well, like 2 people gave me the cold shoulder, or 3 people. So unfortunately, it's become a big issue now. So we have to talk about it, okay? So if you don't like it, it's called the tough shit rule, okay? Investors assess the implication of U.S. President of Donald Trump's pledge to impose tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada, which is very, very bad for global economy, and it's going to put pressure on global economy. Something I've been trying to tell you for weeks now. Trump on Monday, last night on his network, he said he's going to impose a 10% additional tariff on China. I think he said last month he said 50, but now it's 10%, and 25 on Mexico and Canada. I know, Jeff, but don't let anyone on that little secret. I know it is, John, but people think people don't want to hear it. They automatically, Trump, what? He's political. All right. No, the election's over, folks. Save that for someone else. Save that for the next 4 years. It's time to talk about the market. So this is going to put pressure on China. It's going to put pressure on Mexico. It's already been putting pressure on Mexico. And Canada, well, let's just say that Canada makes money from 85% of exporting to USA, and Mexico about 90% of exports to the USA. So if you see Corona beer and Pacifico beer costing 25% more, you will know exactly why. Is this going to impact companies in the US? Hell yes. Are companies downgrading their expectations based on this? Hell yes. Now, not that this is relevant or even important, but just as a little side note, 4 years ago, I think 4 years ago or 5 years ago, Trump signed a agreement with Mexico and Canada not to do exactly what he's saying he's going to do right now. Again, that's not here nor there, but I thought you'd find it very interesting. Yes, yes, Ragendron. Yes, yes. So as I said, as I've been saying the last couple of weeks, I'm not expecting anything great from China. I'm not expecting anything great from Mexico, and I'm not expecting anything great from Canada. Benchmark S&P and blue chip Dow notched all-time high. Nasdaq is struggling. Interest rates, interest rates, interest rates, and chip stocks. Chip stocks are putting pressure on the market. Home builder stocks gained ground after the treasury yield fell to a 2-week low. That's this right here, which is undoing itself. So you're going to have to watch home building stocks. You're going to be looking for home building stocks and anything relating to the housing market to take a dump if this breaks below the 91, 92 level. That exactly, Michael. That's exactly what I'm doing, because I'm going to have to put all of what he said into this calculation, which is exactly what I'm doing. No more Takati for you, right? That's if you guys don't think this impacts the next 6 hours, then so again, you see the home builder, DHI, they all climbed yesterday, right? Well, they climbed because of this gap, but this gap is undoing itself, which means we may see some pressure on home builders and other interest rate sensitive stocks, which is the reason why you're seeing the Dow Jones down about 100 points today while the Nasdaq is up. Let's continue this thing. And Nvidia slid more than 4% because Amazon announced they're going to develop their own AI chip. I think it was just a matter of time. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon developed their own cryptocurrency. I'm not joking either. So we do have some pressure from chip stocks as well because Nvidia has big market cap. Okay. And yes, this has a huge impact. Everything I'm reading to you right here has a huge impact on the next 6 hours because you're not going to see upside from China, Mexico, or Canada, and you're not going to see any upside from stocks that are related to China, Mexico, and Canada as a result. You never go higher than one, but we're at 14. Yeah, great time to go to Mexico. And remember, Angie, what I was showing you about a month ago, Mexico, and I was saying, guys, this is going to continue. Trump is going to put Mexican economy into the toilet. And historically speaking, we get the most amount of illegals coming here when what Angie just says happens, when Mexico is in the poorhouse. So again, I'm only giving you facts. If you want theories, you can get them anywhere else. But just FYI, that's usually what happens. Today, we're going to be focused on the minutes. That's right here. The minutes, very, very important. Walmart has begin domestic sourcing of products because of the threat of tariffs. Then expect Walmart to raise their prices pretty soon, Richard, because America charges a lot more for labor than Mexico does. So we have a 59% chance of a 25-point basis cut and 40% of no cut. I personally think the Fed should continue to. I mean, what was the purpose of lowering rates half a basis points if you're not going to take any action next time? That's just stupid. That would only imply that they made a mistake lowering rates half a basis points. They're not into you making them look like assholes. So they're going to lower rates again because they're going to say we're just going to continue where we left off. Because if right now they say we're not going to lower rates, then everybody's going to say, then why the hell did you start lowering rates before? They don't want those questions. They do not want those questions. So they're going to keep doing exactly what they're doing and keep saying that everything is fine. Everything is fine. Oh, wait, everything is not fine. You know how they operate. When Walmart said they only had yeah, I do, Angie. I do very, very well. Yes, he lowered rates because he was being proactive, and he's going to have to be a little more proactive. My personal opinion is that he should lower rates half a basis point. Why? Well, look at the long bond since he's been lowering rates. It was up here, right here. Now we're down here. And also another reason why I think the market's going to be choppy today with not a lot of directional bias is also because we have all of these earnings coming out today, and a lot of these earnings are coming out after the market closes. Now, BBY did what you always say, that when companies upgrade themselves, there is usually a gap up. That's Michael, I'm not the one saying that. The market's been saying that for the last 50 years. I'm just pointing it out to you. Nice, Dr. Serena. Thank you. Very nice. Now, let's uh, let's take a look at some of these, shall we? We're doing good on time today. We're not arguing. Nobody's arguing with me about politics today. It's like we have a different audience from 2 weeks ago. My, oh my. Where's my second? Oh, here it is. Uh, 1 second. Where is my? Okay, I could use this. That's fine. I'll just go right here. All right. Let's see what we got here. ADI. What is ADI doing right now? ADI is up 6% right now. Actually, what? No, it's not. Yeah, it's up 6% right now. So ADI is going to help chips today. Let's see, Dell. Dell is flat, waiting for overnight data. CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike flat, waiting for overnight data. Workday up 0.49, waiting for overnight data. HPQ waiting for overnight data. Where are the contrarians? Yeah, where are the contrarians today? Where's all the people who were talking smack 2 weeks ago? BBY down 0.80 and BBY coming up a little bit, and Dix up 9%. So you could see the vast majority, the vast majority, yeah, Dick's earnings today, right here. Yeah, I love Dick's. Great store, great store. So a lot of these stocks, we won't know the earnings till tonight. So here's why one of the reasons. See, the more I read this, the more data I'm getting in my head about what this is going to do, and I'm not ready to do my conclusion just yet, but I will be in a few minutes. So let's continue. So we have a lot of uncertainty. We got some upside. We don't have any downside from these earnings yet, but we got some upside. But a lot of these are going to report. Now, are institutions going to be making big bets on chip stocks ahead of ADI, on Dell computer stocks ahead of the reports? No, they're not. Are institutions going to be making big bets before 2 o'clock FOMC? No. What percentage of institutions are still working right now? Maybe 30%. So what's going to be the big catalyst today? Right here. And then what's going to happen after this? Probably the high or the low of the day. So let's continue. We're getting a better idea. We're getting a better idea of what's happening here. Folks, is this helpful to you? Is this helping you gain a real edge in what really moves the markets? Um, Let me know. Moondog landed. Good. Let me give you some links before we continue. Here's Customer Service Live. Here's my Telegram channel. Cool. And here's the VIP room. One thing about me, guys, I only talk about politics if it has a major impact on the stock market, and then it's not political anymore. It's financial. Okay. So, so the fact that these news, that the majority, see, the fact that a lot of these stocks are coming out after the close, that's a major, major impact in my decision process right now. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Pat. Kevin, Kirk, the sassy trainer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Give my, if you like it, give a thumbs up. Oh, my dogs are going crazy. Yeah, probably a delivery. Consumer confidence is going to be reported today. New home sales will be reported today. You guys already know you're going to be looking at the bond market and whether we're going to break the slowdown here. Manufacturing is going to be coming out today. It doesn't even have a star by this. I don't know why. This is a very important report because, as Richard says, a lot of manufacturing is going to start coming from the USA market, which he's right. And I'm really glad about that. But this is important. This has to start moving as a result. Right, Richard? From Puente Gorda, right here. Manufacturing, right? Has to start. I can't believe you guys can't hear my dogs. Okay, now let's talk about the fun part. What about global economy? Is global economy going to impact US market today? Europe futures are down 0.81 as US President-elect Donald Trump tariffs fueled fears of a global trade war. Auto stocks led the decline on Tuesday. Okay? Europe is not giving us any tailwind right now. And yes, it's because of you know exactly why. How about China? Is China giving us any tailwind? Slightly lower as caution sentiment prevailed after US President Trump pledged an additional 10% tariff. But notice something funny. China's not really down, right? This is why. This is the interesting part. They were limited as Trump promised to do 60% last time. So they're relieved because he says only 10% instead of 60. So this is actually positive for China. This is good for China. This is good for China because China's like, whew, we thought it was going to be 60%. Although, I mean, it's flat. It's not down sharp. If Trump said 60%, oh, shoot, this would be down here right now. Yeah, it's going to be very painful making things in America because America charges a lot more, which is why we went international to begin with. Folks, think about this. Just think about this for a second. Think about who makes your Nike shoes and think about how much they get paid for making your Nike shoes. Just think about it for a minute. Do you guys know, real quick, do you guys know who makes who makes Nike shoes and how much each Nike pair of shoes costs? Just think about that for a minute. Just think about that for a minute. And again, this isn't political. This is something that's been going on for 40 years. No, I think he's saying instead of 60%, it's only going to be 10%. I think you guys are misquoting. I don't think it's going to be 60. I think he said 10. Whatever he says is what's going to be priced into the market immediately. And he says before he was saying 60, now it's 10. Okay. Yes, absolutely, Richard. We gotta have some short-term pain. Excellent, Michael. All right. So China is not giving us any tailwind. Europe is not giving us any tailwind. Japan is not giving us any tailwind. Everybody's very upset because our president put a little wet blanket on global economy and electronics, export-oriented stocks. Just so you guys know, your Nike shoes are made in China, mostly, or parts of Asia, and they use a lot of extremely cheap labor to make those shoes. If you were to make Nike shoes in America, you would have to pay about double what you pay for those shoes. So it ain't going to be happening anytime soon. Okay? All right. Well, Graham, this is one of the reasons why I started talking about all of this 2 weeks ago, but you guys shut me up, so I just stopped. Okay, Chevron, Carlos, Chevron gained 1%. They got upgraded. CVX, let's take a look. And again, folks, I'm not a political guy, but I am very financial, and this is impacting financials. So this would be a perfect example of a stock. Remember we were talking about crude oil? And remember I said that if you see a stock that's doing this is a good example of what I was talking about. Okay. Yep. They all moved to Vietnam. They did, Jeff, during COVID. They did. I was telling you guys that Vietnam is a great place to invest. A lot of Chinese companies are moving there, but the problem is USA is getting wise, and they're going to start pulling the old tariffs on Vietnam pretty soon. A lot of USA people are moving to Vietnam, and Vietnam. I agree with everything you're saying, Jeff, and I think Vietnam is. I've been saying that for years, by the way. I've been saying it for years. Yeah. So again, my interpretation of this is that again, you guys are all stuck on this, but the way I'm reading this is I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, and what he's saying is 10% instead of 60. Again, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is what I'm reading right here. Okay, so not 60, but 10. If I'm misquoting something or there's something I don't understand, please send me an email. But from what I'm gathering here, it's 10% instead of 60%, softening from his 60% promise. All right. So let's not argue about this, but either way, it's not helping China. It's not helping China. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Gotcha. You would ask for a better, more expensive shoe, right? So again, all right. So Japan is not giving us U.S. stocks tailwind. China is not giving U.S. stocks tailwind. Europe is not giving U.S. stocks tailwind. Chevron, I like Chevron. Zoom slumped 7%. They even though they raised their full year guidance, this is very good for a stock to raise their full year guidance. Okay, we have a lot of earnings today. All right, so now we've put this together. Let's talk about the market. What did volatility do yesterday? The volatility went down. And has volatility increased yet today? No, it hasn't. So volatility is still bullish, and volatility is in a good zone right now. So overall, I like what I'm seeing. And by the way, 128 points on the Dow is very, very random. You need to see about 200 on this to be non-random. This is nothing. And this E-minis are up today. Okay. So far the market is not pricing it. So far the market's priced in this global economy. So far, at least in the tech sector. But blue chips, be careful. And you guys know another factor I want to bring into today's analysis is what happens when you have fragmentation. When this is down and this is up, what happens usually? And what happens when you add the holiday and the fact that we have big reports tomorrow, the day into the holiday, where about 90% of people will be traveling. So you see how everything is kind of going into my noodle right now. So volatility is looking good. We want to make sure volatility does not go above this area, which is 15. So the levels are 15, high 16s, and 18. Okay, yay! We got a lot of thumbs up. We got over 525 people here on a week where most people are traveling. That's fantastic. I thought we were going to get like 400. And by the way, I will be here on tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow. I will not be here on Friday, but I will be here tomorrow. All right. Let's continue. Let's continue. So now that we've looked at volatility is looking good, now let's look at the stock market. Let's look at the stock market and let's determine if we need to look at levels or we could just look at the daily. How many stocks are making 90-day highs, folks? Thanks, Jeff. This is delayed, so let me see something here. 90, what did you say? I don't see it dropping that much yet. Hold on, maybe I'm wrong. One second. I don't see that. Maybe you see something I don't, but okay. All right. Okay. Thanks, Robert. Good morning, Robert. Good morning to you. Okay, so what is what does this tell us? No, it hasn't dropped. It hasn't dropped. What does this tell us? Here, let me make this bigger. What is this telling us? It's telling us that the upside is very, very limited, isn't it? Markets closed on Thursday, and Friday's like a weird day. Yeah, markets are open Friday, so overcooked, a little overcooked. Carry, this is a lot overcooked. And yesterday during the day, it went to 575. Yes, the market's overextended, needs to cool off. Okay, okay. So, what about fragmentation? I made it big so you guys could see it. Interest rates, blue chips, technology. Interest rates, blue chips, technology. Not 100%, but look, communication, technology, QQQ, semiconductors. Very close to each other, right? Most of the Dow stocks are right here. And look here, you have interest rate sensitivity. But Roger, why is interest rates moving? Why are interest rate stocks moving higher and and bond markets moving lower? Because this is the long bond. The short bond is moving higher. The long bond is moving lower. Fed can control the short bond. They can't control the long bond. Basically, imagine you have a family and you have a baby, a 10-year-old, and a 30-year-old son. Okay. How much can you control the 30-year-old son or the 20-year-old plus son? Not a lot. How much can you control the 5-year-old, the 10-year-old? A little bit. How much can you control the baby? A lot. 3-month baby, you can control a lot. 20. The older the baby gets, the less control you have over him. The bond market works exactly the same way. The younger the child, the more control the Fed has. The older the child, the less control the Fed says. If the kid tells a 3-month-old or a 10-year-old you're going to bed, that kid is going to bed. If you tell a 20-year-old he's going to bed or a 30-year-old he's going to bed, what is he going to do? He's going to look at you and laugh at you. Well, that's what the bond market's doing. The longer the bond, the less control the Fed has. Remember this way. All right. Good, 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 good. So we don't have we don't have a lot of fragmentation, which means the markets can go up, but we have this. So now let's put all of this together. So now let's put all of this together, okay? So far, what's the market doing this morning? It's up 24. What week are we in? So let's talk about everything we have for the bullish run and everything against the bullish run. What's the wet blanket for today? Let's talk about all the wet blankets for today, and then we'll figure out what we think this will do. Okay. It's a holiday week. Volume is low. Very little institutional sponsorship. Wet blanket number one. Momentum levels are overdone to the upside. Wet blanket number two. Trump yesterday going on his social media and reminding everybody that America is going to have to pay up yesterday. Wet blanket number three. Okay. So we got three wet blankets. How about, okay, so those are the real wet blankets we have. What about bond market? The bond market doesn't know if it wants to sustain this gap or not. Uncertainty, uncertainty. What happens when you have uncertainty? Markets stay away. They don't do anything. What happens when you have Fed data going, big Fed data the day before a big holiday? Not a lot of trading action. What happens when you have a big report at 2 p.m. and at 10 a.m.? Is the market going to give us a higher low at the, no, no. So we have increased uncertainty. We have tariff scare. We have the bond market. We have uncertainty with the US dollar. China's not helping us, and global economy is not helping us. FOMC minutes is at 2 o'clock today. What do we have helping us right now? Well, the U.S. market is very strong. It's at all-time highs. It's above all the major VWAPs, so there's very little support. I forgot. The other thing we have, the other wet blanket is the fact that we have divergence between technology and blue chips. That's another wet blanket. So what about the good stuff we have? Well, we have the fact that we're near all-time highs. We have the fact that we don't have all that much sector fragmentation right now. Okay. Volatility is responding very positively, very positively right now. Right. Very, very positively right now. And commodities are really not hurting or helping us. They're kind of not here nor there. Also, we have a lot of earnings after the close, and earnings have been better than expected. And we've had a few companies upgrade themselves. Okay. So, in my humble opinion, the market needs to find itself. And I don't think the market's going to find itself today till at least 10 a.m., which means I don't think we're going to make a high till at least 10 a.m. Basically, the way I'm looking at the market right now, I'm seeing more or less a choppy session with an inside day, partly because we have so much fragmentation between this that this is preventing the S&P from going up another maybe 5-6 points. See that? Because as you know, there's plenty of S&P stocks in the Dow. Do you see how detailed I get on every little thing that matters and how I completely avoid nonsense? And notice, we haven't even talked about stocks yet. So more likely than not, what am I expecting today? An inside day with possible fireworks towards the end of the session if this is a catalyst. While we're doing that, you're going to keep your eye on the bond market. And if the bond market starts breaking up here, that's going to relieve some pressure from stocks. But if we see this filling in the gap, especially early in the morning, it's not going to be pretty. So we're going to be looking at TLT. We're going to be looking at the bond market. We're going to be looking at the SPY with key levels today. What about QQQ? Is this helping you? Well, QQQ, we're already having an inside day. We have the election VWAP immediately below us, which will offer support. And look, we keyed off of the 8-day EMA yesterday really hard, right here. See that? So I think today we're going to see, technology is going to go a little bit higher, but not enough to give us a breakthrough at least till the second part of the day, which means, notice I've said not a lot of directional bias till the second part of the day, maybe. And the second part of the day, we get closer to earnings, which gives us more uncertainty. So are we expecting a big runaway day today? Probably not. Probably an inside day. What happens to your favorite stocks if the stock market has an inside day, knowing damn well that the stock market gives you 70% of all your movement for stocks? Now, does anybody else go this deep into figuring out where the market's going to be in the next 6 hours? Now let's talk about stocks. By the way, I like small caps. I like Russells. I like how we're near this area right here, but I think we're going to start filling in this gap. And if we start filling in this gap on the small caps, the tailwind that we got yesterday from small caps is going to fade away, which it already looks like it is. And the strength from the Dow, which led the market higher yesterday, is not there today. Why? Global economy. So we have a two-sided market today with the blue chips roiling the nice rally we're seeing in chip stocks and tech stocks because of the earnings and the upgrades. Okay? And hopefully this is helpful to you. Now, with all of that, now that we have a good traction for what to expect today, maybe a little higher in the morning, maybe make an all-time high or a low, consolidate and show its hand finally after 2 p.m. today. Okay? Which means if you're looking to take swing trades, you may want to wait till after 2 p.m. today because the market may be muted till then. And the downside on the Dow is only increasing right now. Okay? Okay. All right, stocks that I like. Let me give you stocks and then I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. Somebody's got to make a living here. TTE. Ugh. It's an ADR, by the way. Shouldn't be a surprise. Global economy is not, ADRs will not do great today. GSL, global ship lease, shipping, commerce, global commerce, stuff coming to US from other countries. Capiche? Opposite of US dollar, shipping companies. Get it? I think I've said enough. As the stronger US dollar gets, the weaker the shippers will become. BG. Come on, guys, give me thumbs up. Let's get 250 thumbs up. Yes, related to Sting. Bunge, you want to wait till we're below 86. And by the way, who's been telling you about this Scorpio tankers now for several weeks? That's the next stock on my breakdown stuff. US dollar tariffs. Not good for global shippers. Not good for global shippers. How many times have I given you this stock in the last 3 months? 20 times? LMT, still bearish. Doesn't look like anything's going on with Europe, with Ukraine and Russia. You have a major support right here. So only the target should be right here. No more. Once we're at the 200, you got to wait till we're below this to go short. Let's see how many likes we have now. 253 likes. Yay! Bob, we got 253 likes now. Lockheed Martin, folks. Lockheed Martin, global economy. Global economy. I know it's the first time we're talking about this stock. Now let's talk about stocks on my long list. And then I got to get out of here. Spotify I like. It's the first time I've ever talked about this stock. Right, Angie? I still like C and Wells Fargo. C and Wells Fargo. Yes, they are the same. They're looking exactly the same. And JP Morgan does too. And so does Wells Fargo. No, one to a customer. One to a customer. And Wells Fargo is the strongest one. Be careful with them today because of the yield on bonds. Carvana. Carvana, used cars. Used cars. Wait till it gets to the 8-day EMA. D-Dog. First time we're talking about, and I know you're all shocked because this is the first time we're talking about any of these stocks here. We've never talked about IP. I know it's shocking. 8-day. Wait till we're at the 8-day. DoorDash. Never talked about DoorDash before. Toast. First time we're ever bringing this stock up here. You guys must be really surprised by my stock picks today. Not. Visa. A few that I really like. Here's Alcoa. I like Alcoa. And another one that actually one of our members brought to my attention yesterday. Omar, which I forgot to give you in the VIP room, but I like this stock. I do like this stock. He was absolutely right. So now you guys are sending me stocks to put to my watch list. I love that. All right, now listen and listen good. All the good things that you want to happen to you, the magic starts in customer service live. Okay? Customer service live. Number one. Number two, if you guys have not subscribed to my Telegram channel, you're missing out some hardcore pictures of Clyde and a lot of goodies. And I will see you in VIP room for part one of what we just did right now. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Hopefully this was helpful. And I'll see you guys at noon. If you have a question, customer service live or roger@rogerscott.com. I will see you later. Have a fantastic day. And I'm hoping this was helpful. And look at this. We didn't get any political nonsense today. I love it. Bye, guys. Take care. Love you all. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Bye. Have a great day, everybody. Stay out of trouble and be patient. Next few days are going to be really rough in the market. And keep your exposure